Hello, BookTube. One of the reading events that I'm part of for September is an inaugural event, Dictember, created by Mark at Book Time with Elvis, and we're co-hosted by Michael K. Vaughan and Sean Stanfast and myself, dealing with private eyes, with house dicks, with gumshoes, of all types and sizes, all walks of life, all kinds of things like that. I've been having a blast with this. I've been reading in anthologies of short stories that I have as ebook and printed books. I've been reading everything from the mystery shelves of my mass market paperback bookshelves. It's been a blast. And I've been finding a lot of stuff that I really want to just mine. Most mystery authors are incredibly prolific, and in this case, that's a definite benefit. Today's book is something that I had read before. I read it when it first came out 30 years ago, something like that. And I remember kind of liking it, and I didn't stick with the series. This is Track of the Cat, which is the first Anna Pigeon novel by Nevada Barr. Anna Pigeon is a West Texas park ranger. And this is the first book where she's introduced here. She is really observant, really gritty, tough, independent, all that sort of thing. And in this book, a fellow ranger is found dead, apparently killed by a mountain lion. And in the murder mystery, that apparently is never true. Or if it's true, the mountain lion had an accomplice. They never do it alone, whether it's a mountain lion or a grizzly or whatever. And when I first read this, I thought, okay, well, this is fairly by the numbers. I took a while to find the paperback copy that actually looks like what I read. No idea why this cover looks this way, why it looks so incredibly dorky. But I read it and thought that it was kind of by the numbers. It actually reminded me of A is for Alibi by Sue Grafton, in that it covers the block and then it finishes and folds up its tent. But at no point does it seem to regard itself. At no point does it soar. And I was thinking, it's been a long time, it's been a lifetime. You can read this again, see whether or not your impressions change. And if anything, the needle moved just a little in the northerly direction. I liked it a little more, I think, than I remember liking it the first time. I don't remember if I've read any other Nevada Barr books. Have you? Are any of you out there? Have you read the whole of this series? Are you a big fan of it? I kind of liked it. I thought the research was more comprehensive in a lot of aspects of it than I noticed the first time around. And block the baby. There we go. Oh, is your mustache sticking out? Whisker sticking out? There we go. And Anna Pigeon herself is a pretty good creation. Although, in the context of Dictember, she raised a whole bunch of questions for me. As a park ranger, she does have quasi-official authority. She can question people. She can initiate legal proceedings against them that will be worse than they would if she initiated the same legal proceedings as a private individual. So is she a private eye? Even if she's not solving a crime really on the basis of her own official capacity? I mean, the fellow ranger that is killed, the case is open and closed that this ranger was killed by a mountain lion. So, is she a private eye? I mean, when you think about a private eye, would you allow a park ranger? Would that count, or would you say no? Okay, well, whatever Anna Pigeon is, she isn't a private eye in the sense that we're talking about for Dictember. I wasn't sure. I wasn't completely sure. I was thinking the whole time I was reading this about mountain lions, of course. As those of you who have not had the pleasure of visiting America, the dystopian nightmare that is America, you have 6 weeks to do so without being watched, and only a little bit more than a year to do so at all, where you can be guaranteed of being allowed to leave once your vacation's done. So I wouldn't do it if I were you. I would just stay clear of this country. But we have a lion. We have a lion species in this country. Baby, what are you doing? Don't do that. They are generally smaller than African lions, pretty powerfully built. They don't have manes. Bean, don't do that. Don't do that. She gets into these licking periods and just won't stop. And they are ambush predators. They're surprise predators. They lie in wait. Their absolutely preferred method of predation is from above ground. So they will pick a rocky ridge 4 or 5 feet above a track in the woods or in the chaparral or in the desert or something. They'll pick a secluded area, although it doesn't have to afford all that much cover. You would be amazed. These things are about the size of a really big German Shepherd, and some of them can get twice that big. You would be amazed at how little cover they need to be completely invisible. You'd be amazed how close an animal this big can get to you with all your senses alert without you having the faintest idea that they're anywhere around. You would be able to tell if you were really paying attention to your environment, because your environment, like in the ocean with tiny little bait fish, in the wild, if a mountain lion is nearby and is paying you serious hunting attention, the whole of the natural world will go quiet. But most people don't pay attention to that. They don't recognize that until it's too late. They remember that afterwards if they live. What mountain lions like to do, and they don't really care whether it's two-legged or four-legged, what they like to do is wait until their prey is near them, preferably in a dead drop from where they are, and not looking at them. And then they leap, they latch on with claws, they let their body weight, close to 200 pounds in some cases, bring the prey down while they issue a paralyzing bite to the back of the skull, the base of the skull, the top of the spine. They don't want to fight with you. They want to incapacitate you and then eat you and prey on you, eat you while you're alive. So your body is still warm, the meat is still nice and fresh, the blood is still there, but you aren't able to fight back. They do that all the time with their ungulate prey, but they're perfectly happy to do it with humans as well. Every once in a while, a juvenile who hasn't really been well trained or well acclimated, or perhaps an adult who's experiencing dentition problems or mental problems of some other kind, will break from that pattern and simply openly stalk a human being. There's plenty of footage on YouTube of people being stalked by mountain lions, and in some cases quite big mountain lions. Every once in a while, a male of the American mountain lion will get just about the same size as a small male African lion. It's pretty terrifying. And the cases of unprovoked attacks, the cases of fatalities are very low. If you go hiking even in cougar territory, it's extremely unlikely that you'll come anywhere near one. They don't really want anything to do with humans, anything more than anything else in the rest of the world does, except dogs. But you won't be far away from them. In their territory, you won't be far away from them. The key difference between, for instance, that and, like, for instance, a grizzly bear is that grizzly bears, they don't want anything to do with you either, but most of them won't take the trouble to hide from you. They'll know about you in their territory long before you know about them, except in the very rare and unfortunate instances where people surprise a grizzly bear, come at them from the wrong wind angle, or with their passage sounds being masked by the sound of a river, and surprise a grizzly bear. That's always a bad situation to be in. There is no surprising a mountain lion. They're going to know that you're there long before you know that they're there, and you mostly won't know. But in rare instances, there are cases where mountain lions have attacked humans, and it's pretty easy to tell whether or not that's the case. It's a very distinctive predation. No other animal looks like it. It doesn't look anything like a bear attack, for instance. So you would think, in Track of the Cat, that the murder case here would be open and shut. And I kind of liked the way Nevada Bar pries it open again. There's always that moment, right, in a private eye story where everything looks completely shut. It doesn't look like there's anything even to question. That's skill on the author's part to give you that impression. They don't have to do that. They know that things aren't shut. They could write them that way. Nevada Bar is really good at that. There is something to this whole story. It's not open and shut. And I like that. I like that moment. I always like that moment in private eye stories where the private eye suddenly realizes there's something going on here. That moment takes 1,000 different guises, and I always love it when it happens. So today's book for Dictember was a success. It didn't blow me away, but I really enjoyed it. And my main question is, am I cheating? I don't know if I'm cheating. Is it cheating to use a park ranger in an event devoted to private eyes? I hope not. I'll try to be a little more careful for tomorrow. But anyway, that's it for today. Track of the Cat, Nevada Bar. I'm dying to know if there are Nevada Bar fans out there. Feel free to sing out. I'd love to hear about it. But anyway, I'm going to wrap this up, but I'll be back. Thank you, BookTube.